No, you're official.
Oh, good afternoon, everyone. Today's a great day in Rotary. There's a golf theme, which always makes me happy. So great to be with you all. I'd like to start with a quick story, if I could. I spent 4 years as the international president for my college fraternity. And I used to have to go to charterings and present these charters to new groups. I had to go to Binghamton, New York. And I was doing some research for my remarks and realized that one of our founders, Albert Sullard Barnes, was buried in the Floral Park Cemetery in Binghamton, New York. So I went to his gravesite, one of the founders of the Delta Chi fraternity, and I sat there for about 15 minutes, got a little emotional because I wondered if he would be proud of the organization that I was leading 120 years later. And I had to believe he would be. Here I was, only the 49th person to ever be the international president.
Wow.
So that night I was recounting this visit to the guys, and at the chartering event, they came up to me afterwards and they said, "Steve, that's amazing you went to the gravesite. For the last 3 years, we've had our pledges walking off sections of that cemetery to try to find Albert Sullard Barnes's gravesite." And it was a huge cemetery. They would take a section, step it off. He said, last week on Founders Day, they actually found Albert Sullard Barnes's gravesite. I said, that's interesting. I just called the office and they faxed me a map. And they said, that's why you're the international president, Steve. So as we begin this time together today, may we all have a map for our Rotary leadership, for our community, and for our nation. May that map lead to peace and prosperity, and may it protect our youngest and most vulnerable in the places where they are supposed to be safe. Also help us to see the many good things around us in the ways that we can be a blessing to someone we encounter today. Amen.
Yes, we all do need a map. We all do need one. Okay. At this time, I'd like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you would join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now also for Rotarians for the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? All right, thank you. And at this time, I'm going to call Miss Mella up. We've got a number of guests, and she's going to share with us.
Hi, everybody. Yes, thanks for all coming today. Steve Foster has a guest today, Isabella Martok. Do you want to introduce yourself, say a few words?
Hello, everyone. I'm Isabella Martok. I am the marketing intern at Coleman Health Services this summer. I just finished up my second year at Ohio University studying management and marketing, so it's great to be here.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll wait there. Doug Koskinek has Jim O'Neill with Keller Williams.
Hi everyone, I'm Jim O'Neill with Keller Williams Realty in Fairlawn. I was here last week and yeah.
Okay. And our speaker today, Padgett, he'll be here and he'll be introduced after a while, but he has 3 other guests with him: Connor Deckard, Ollie Grilliot, and Sam Chapman.
Thank you, Mella. Do we have any visitors online there, Ms. Cheryl, that you can see?
No, sir, I do not see it.
Okay. All right. Well, next up, how about during this last week, even though it was a holiday week, do we have any Rotary Ambassadors? Cheryl, all right.
I know you cannot see me online because I'm behind the scenes, but I had the pleasure of not only traveling to St. Louis to see family, but while I was there, attend a Rotary meeting as well as our E-Club meeting on Saturday morning. So I made it a Rotary weekend as well.
Tell us a little bit about the E-Club.
Oh, the E-Club of Northeast Ohio is an all virtual club. They meet Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. every other Saturday, and then they do service projects And every quarter they pick a different service project, and this quarter it is going to be sustainability projects. So they just agreed on their projects this Saturday.
Thank you. And if I recall, your husband, is he still the president of that club? He was last year. Okay, thank you. All right, is anybody today happy besides all the nice, wonderful weather we've had and time off? Anybody in the room happy today? All right, do you have that other microphone, or I think you still have it. If you could use that, that would be great.
Linda Farkas, here you go.
I only have $1. I'm sorry. I'm leaving for Rotary International in Houston, Texas on Thursday morning at 6 a.m. out of Cleveland. So I will be one of your ambassadors to Houston. So hopefully next year, more of my fellow Rotarians will join us in Australia. So keep that in mind, budget appropriately, and I'm looking forward to being at RI again since the last 2 years was virtual. So happy traveling to Julie West and myself and Julie Randall and Stu Buchanan and his wife Sherry. Thank you.
I have two happy dollars just for Isabella joining us today. Our marketing intern at Coleman Health Services, also my next door neighbor. So little inside information there to get that job. So she'll be with us this summer. Great young lady. So thank you.
I have two happy dollars, Steve. First, still looking for volunteers for the Akron Food Bank project. That's June 15th. 4:30 to 6:30 is the volunteer time. Afterwards, we're going to go out to a local establishment downtown somewhere for dinner and drinks. But if you can volunteer, just please either shoot me an email or a text. That's, like I said, 4:30 to 6:30, June 15th. And my second happy dollar is I got a chance to go this past weekend to see my son in Chicago, and we had a great time there. So just happy to see him.
Anybody else?
Yes, and then we have one online too, Sandy, that's who there, will you come to me?
I have 4 happy dollars, 2 for our wonderful trip that we just returned from, and 2 for seeing Jim O'Neill again. Nice to see you.
Behind you.
I'll go to 20, so this is 5 happy dollars for today, and then some on accounts. So Linda, we are looking forward to going to Australia. Couldn't make Texas this year, but Australia's looking good.
Fantastic. No, I'll do you and then you can call.
Step out so I can at least see those people online. I'll come around here and wave. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, I have 5 happy dollars. Mr. Casarco, please stand up. This man deserves a round of applause. I could not have done it today without him. So 5 happy dollars for you, and I'll tie in my trip to see my uncle down in St. Louis and my cousins. So thank you, Brian. Couldn't have done it.
You might want,
Anybody online?
yeah, you might want to check and see who's online.
We have 2 online now.
Okay.
We have Mr. Nunez.
Jacinto, you're up.
Hi there. I have 20 happy dollars, 18 in honor of my son's 18th birthday this last week. 1 happy dollar for him graduating from Stowe Monroe Falls High School. And then 1 happy dollar for the celebration we had on Saturday. My wife and I are both from out of state, so we have no relatives nearby. So it was a special treat when we had relatives on both sides of the family come and partake in the celebration. So it was a really special, memorable week for us. So I'm happy.
Fantastic. Dr. McGregor, we have your hand up.
I thought I thought I was clapping for Brian Casarco, but I'm always happy. And I'll give $5 happy. So I can see that John has Jack by his side. So I'm glad to see John online. And I really like the invocation today. So thank you.
Outstanding. Hey, maybe we have a new method for collecting happy dollars. I have 2 happy dollars. It's good to have Sandy back, traveling all over the United States and overcoming a number of difficulties with their vehicles. So it's great to have you. And it's great to have Don Padgett III here today and his team that he brought with him. He'll introduce them in a little bit, but all that to say, it was kind of cute when I mentioned, is anybody in the room happy? And Connor and Al, your hands shot up right away. So you got a good team there. They like working with you. So as far as announcements, does anyone else have an announcement that they would like to make? And I know that David just made mention of working at the food bank. Anybody else online that has an announcement?
Yeah, my mother does.
Okay, go ahead, Jerry.
No, it's my mom, Ginny.
I want to say that my friend Frank Harvey is in Rocky Knoll rehab. I have his dog, and I have found for Jerry and me to go away tomorrow night that I can take care of the dog. The dog will be taken care of the hospital. There's a huge relief for me.
Tell me what happened.
Frank is not doing so well. I'll give it $10.
Well, thank you. And our prayers to Frank. Frank is 91, and yeah, he's been going through a little bit of a health crisis. So if you keep him in your thoughts and prayers, that would be great.
Generally, they have you tear down and some packages bulk, and you repackage them that they go back out to different distribution centers. One group did rebranding, or I guess downsizing of hand sanitizer that also went out to some facilities in need. So they have different projects, but in general, you're just working in an assembly line of some type, working with food or whatever else they have there.
Thank you. And this Friday, Kenmore is starting back up with their first Friday series. And there were a few of us in the room that had the privilege of visiting in Kenmore 2 weeks ago when we actually conducted our weekly meeting at the Rialto Theater. And that was a lot of fun. And just to be able to experience the theater and to see all of the wonderful growth that's been taking place in Kenmore. They're back at it. They did it last year with the First Fridays. And our grant committee worked with Tina Boys and the Community Development Corporation there in Kenmore. And they were able to receive I think it was close to $6,500 grant, which they're putting to use for the First Fridays in bringing in live music. So this Friday, I think it starts at 6 o'clock. And should be a lot of fun. Ms. Mel, it looks like you have an announcement.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. I just lost it. Okay, in the last Aquatarian, and we announced last week, Dr. McGregor did, to save the date for our President's Party to honor Steve Bowie. So that is Friday, July 29th at Rotary Camp from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So we're finalizing all the details and we'll get those invitations out with the costs and everything. So please mark your calendar. We hope to see you at your beautiful Akron Rotary Camp. And then we had put in the Aquatarian that we need your opportunity to come and serve camp dinner to our Akron campers and the camp counselors. So next Thursday, June 9th, will be the first Thursday cookout at Rotary Camp for these campers and the counselors. So we're looking for Rotarians to come and serve dinner. So 5:30 to about 7:30. So let Amanda know if you're able to come. Thanks.
Thank you. And if you've never had the opportunity to go out for one of those Thursday night cookouts, you really do owe it to yourself. The kids are priceless, and to be able to see the synergy between the counselors and the kids, and just to be able to enjoy a good meal, it's a lot of fun. And Thane, I'm going to invite you to come up and introduce Don today. And as you're coming, I wanted to make a comment. It's nice to see Connor Jarvis here with us today. And Connor and Courtney have been pretty busy since their little son Theo was born. It was about 6-7 weeks ago, or is it longer than it?
About 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, so a busy little household with Emmy and then having Theo. And also, good news, a lot is happening right now. I would expect maybe in the next, maybe even today, we're going to hear about the Margita family. And John and Mary are anticipating the arrival of their grandson. So a very, very exciting time. Mr. Thane.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, sir. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Can everybody hear me? Good, good. Another one. Okay, good. So I am very pleased to present our guest today, who's a good friend of mine, Mr. Don Padgett III. Don's a guy that I originally met in 2016, right before I moved back home to Akron. And since then, we've become very good friends. Don presently serves as the executive director of the Bridgestone SENIOR Players Championship. Prior to that, he served as the executive director of the WGC Bridgestone Invitational for, I believe, 12 years. So I've really enjoyed getting to know Don, getting to know his team as well. It's wonderful to have Allie, Connor, and Sam with us. A little bit about Don, because I've gotten to know him very well the last few years. He's a graduate of Indiana University at Bloomington. And while he was there, he was quite accomplished. And Don's a very humble guy. He won't say this, but I will. Quite an accomplished student athlete. And that was both in the classroom as well as out on the golf course. He ranks 12th for all-time lowest scoring average at Indiana, and they are one of the premier golf schools in the country. So he is a phenomenal golfer. After graduating, started working for the PGA Tour, made his way back to Akron. And in addition to being very involved with the tour, he's also very involved civically. He was a member of Leadership Akron's 2012 class, which I was told was the best class ever. He also was named to Crain's Cleveland's 40 under 40, which is incredibly prestigious. And if you know Don, he's passionate about a couple things. He's passionate about golf. He's incredibly passionate and proud of his family. He's also proud of Akron. And one thing that I think is really cool, since 1984, all the net proceeds of the tournament had went to Northeast Ohio Golf Charities, and they have raised over $30 million since 1984. I'm very pleased and blessed to call Don a friend. I can't underestimate how good of a golfer he is, but I'm not friends with him because he's a great golfer. I'm friends with him because he's an even better person. So Don, thank you very much for being with us. Thanks, Bart.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Thane. It's great to be here today with the Akron Rotary. I appreciate the invitation from Thane Bello. I will have to come clean on one thing with the introduction, though. And Thane, you're not the first to do this. So my father's name is also Don Padgett. He also played golf for Indiana University. He's actually the 12th all-time. And so I got to come. I was good. My dad was great. So not quite as good as my dad. But anyway, but you're not the first to do that anyway. But I've always admired the help the Akron Rotary has provided for the community, in particular your camp for kids with special needs. any organization that can get Akron thinking about golf in the month of February, let alone playing it, is a hero of mine. So that's not an easy task, but you do a great job with the Chile Open. Bridgestone Senior Players and Northern Ohio Golf Charities have been proud to support the Akron Rotary Camp. So today I'm going to talk about the history of tournament golf in Akron and Firestone Country Club. I'll give you an overview of the Bridgestone Senior Players Championship. We'll cover the charitable impact of the golf tournament, how you can get involved, and we'll leave some time for questions as well. So show of hands, how many people have been to the golf tournament over the years in the past? Great. It looks like about everybody here. That's phenomenal. Our golf tournament, as you'll hear, has something for everyone, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later today. But 2022 marks the 69th consecutive year of golf here at Firestone and Country Club in Akron. It all actually started with the Akron JCs back at the 1954 Rubber City Open. There's only 3 venues across the country that have streaks that long. So it's Augusta National, Pebble Beach in California, and Colonial in Fort Worth. So we're in pretty high company there. But like so many of the assets that we have here in Akron, the golf tournament is really a legacy of the rubber companies, and in particular, Firestone Tire and Rubber. Harvey Firestone opened Firestone Country Club back in 1929 as a recreational facility for his employees, for their customers, and it's evolved into one of the most well-known golf courses in the world. In fact, I think back about 3 years ago, I was on a golf trip in Scotland. And after the round, we went into the pub and I had a Firestone Country Club shirt on. And one of the locals said, "Have you played there?" I said, "Well, I played there." I explained my involvement with the tournament. And this guy had never been to the United States, but he knew most of the holes in the back 9 from watching it on TV. He wanted to talk about the 16th monster hole. And sometimes we forget how big of an impact and how widespread that golf course is to the whole world. Before LeBron, I used to say Firestone Country Club was the biggest thing in sports from Akron, but we're proud to be second to LeBron and all the great things that he's done. We're also proud to support the LeBron James Family Foundation. So all the greats of the game since the 1950s have competed at Firestone. Our list of winners there reads like a who's who of the game. In fact, our winners include 19 World Golf Hall of Fame members and 42 major championship winners. It's names like Arnold Palmer, who's a 3-time winner. Gary Players won 3 times at Firestone. Jack Nicklaus, 7-time winner. Tom Watson. You can even go to more modern day. Tiger Woods, 8-time winner. Rory McIlroy, Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas. Our 2001 Bridgestone Senior Players Championship winner, Steve Stricker. He's racking up major championship wins on PGA Tour Champions, and he was also the U.S. Ryder Cup captain. He brought home the Ryder Cup back to the U.S. In his home state of Wisconsin, which is really cool. But time after time, Firestone identifies the best of the best. And for this reason, it's an ideal venue for a major championship on the PGA Tour Champions, which is the 50 and older circuit. In my opinion, golf's the best sport of them all. It's a sport for everybody. Men and women play, young and old play. It's a sport of a lifetime. You have people of different abilities that can have a match with each other with handicaps. It's a sport that's popular in the US, around the world, and golf is one of the few sports where legends can still shine. So I'll give you an overview of the Bridgestone Senior Players Championship. This year's tournament is July 6th through the 10th. And there's 3 key parts of our thematic, the Summerfest at Firestone. So it's Legends of the Game, Something for Everyone, and then Giving Back to the Region. And all of this information I'm going to cover is at bridgestoneseniorplayers.com if you want to take a look at that later on. But our Legends of the Game, we welcome back the PGA Tour Champions, guys like Fred Couples, like Ernie Els, Bernard Langer, John Daly, and of course, our defending champion, Steve Stricker. And new to PGA Tour Champions this year, major championship winners David Duval, Justin Leonard, and Patrick Harrington. One other cool thing we're going to do this year on Friday, July 8th at 9 a.m. It's open to all ticket holders. We're going to have a coffee with legends on the front lawn of the club. So we've got a chat with 3-time U.S. Open winner Hale Irwin. We also have 2-time U.S. Open champion Andy North and then PGA champion Hal Sutton. So fans can listen to hear what they have to say about their stellar careers, what they think about today's game, but you can ask them questions, you can get autographs, take pictures. It's a new thing we have this year, and we're excited about it. But we got 78 players. There's no cut, so that ensures that everybody's favorite player will be around all week. And with this tournament being a major, all of these players love coming back to Firestone, and they love more than anything to win at Firestone, to have that in their career. These guys aren't trying to be number one in the world anymore. So what that means is they're very generous with their time. So unlike some of the younger guys, they'll sit down with their sponsors, they'll have a beer with them after the round. They're very generous with autographs, with pictures. Very few sports can you get this close to the athletes, interact with them, and encourage everybody to come out and take advantage of that. And this tournament allows us to have a pro-am as well, which is a huge component of our charitable giving. So 4 players actually get, amateur golfers get to play with one of these pros on the tournament course the day before the tournament. And that helps us raise a lot of charitable money to give back throughout the region. So our second part at Summerfest at Firestone is something for everyone. So even if you're not into golf, we've got a lot of cool things that'll be of interest to you. We've got concerts after play. We have great food. We're really excited on Saturday, July 9th, to have the Bindies. They're an alt-rock band out of Youngstown, but they're selling out venues across the country. I went and saw them at the ninth stage at the Civic Theater in March, and they blew me away. We're going to build a stage next to the 18th green, and that'll be 4 o'clock on that Saturday. So encourage everybody to come out and enjoy that. We've also have the Akron Symphony Orchestra is going to have a performance at the golf course, which is kind of cool. We did that last year. They'll be back by popular demand, and we'll do that right after our trophy ceremony on Sunday, July 10th. That'll be at 3:30, and that's actually open to everybody after 2 p.m. free admission. So it'll be a great way to enjoy the summer and the great performance that the Akron Symphony will put on for us. We've got great food, great gathering areas for fans. Our Firestone Flats will have tacos on 10. We've got our Back Nine Barbecue. We'll also have Tito's Stillhouse. Harvey's Snack Bar at the clubhouse will actually be serving crunchy cream pie to all the fans for the first time this year. If you have the crunchy cream pie at Firestone, if not, it's definitely worth it. Our Taps at the Turn, great selection of beers and local craft beers. We'll have food trucks with Jackpot Chicken and others. And then also our Kids Zone is presented by Meyer this year. They'll have putt-putt, face painting, all kinds of cool things for the kids to do. They can get autographs, take pictures with the players, and 18 and under is free. So encourage you to bring the kids out with you to the golf tournament this year. So our final part of Summerfest at Firestone is giving back to the region. So when you support and when you attend the golf tournament, it helps us raise funds for worthy causes in our area. So I get the question a lot, how does this work? Well, Bridgestone is our title sponsor. They provide the underpinning for the event, the purse for the players. It enables us to put it on TV. So what the community invests from hospitality tickets to pro-am foursomes, all the way to the individual ticket buyer, that's what enables us to give back to the community. So after we pay our bills for security and for bleachers and shuttles, that's what we give back to the community. In addition to the golf tournament, we also started a new charitable fundraiser, our Ambassador Golf event presented by the First Energy Foundation. So that's on Thursday, July 7th this year. Last year we had a successful sold out event. We honored President George W. Bush. It was great to have him here in Akron. And then this year we're going to honor Condoleezza Rice. So excited to have Condi here in town. She's going to play in our Pro-Am, and should be a fun time during tournament week. But our 2021 tournament net proceeds, we gave back over $840,000 to the community. So it's a testament to many of you here in the room, everybody throughout Akron, and we were proud to be able to give those funds back. And as Thane had mentioned, since 1984, with our partner Northern Ohio Golf Charities, it's over $30 million that's gone back to Northeast Ohio. So one thing we like to tell some of the stories that go with that, rather than just throwing out big dollar amounts. I know you guys have great stories with your camp. The picture up here is of a kid named Vinny Mercurio. And Vinny is a part of a program called The Turn. And they are part of the PGA Junior League. So that's kind of like golf's version of Little League Baseball. But Vinny had a rare medical condition. He was a great baseball player, basketball player, and actually had a stroke. But this program called The Turn enables Vinny to still be a part of sports when he's working through his rehab. And so this unit that you see here, Northern Ohio Golf Charities Foundation, through funds we raised for the tournament, paid for this unit to allow Vinny to be able to play golf and play on that PGA Junior League team with his brother. So it was a really cool story. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of stories like Vinny, but we're great to play. We're really proud to play a small part in making things like that happen. I mentioned Northern Ohio Golf Charities. They're a key part in what we do with the golf tournament. So we run this golf tournament with a staff of 5 people and a few hundred volunteers. We've got most of our staff here with you here today, and they do a phenomenal job though. They help us operate the tournament. It's almost like a big family reunion each year. They work hard, but they have fun doing it. And invite any of you that'd like to come join us in our volunteer efforts. We welcome new volunteers. You don't necessarily need to know anything about golf either. That's some questions that we get from time to time. But nogcf.org is a website that's got more information about that if you have interest, or you can talk to one of us after that. So we've got just a short video. I'll give you a taste of the tournament that we'll queue up here, and then we'll answer questions that the group has.
Legends of the game return to Firestone Country Club with a major title on the line.
Steve Stricker is your 2021 Bridgestone Senior Players Champion.
Fans can also enjoy Summerfest at Firestone, complete with local bites and afternoon concerts. Tickets start at only $10 and are available now at BridgestoneSeniorPlayers.com.
All right. It's hard to believe we're only about a month out. It sneaks up on us here. So, but encourage everybody to come out and join us. What questions can I answer from the group?
Questions from the audience? Dr. Doug, hang on.
It's been a while, but I started volunteering out there in the late 80s with the JCs, marshalling, et cetera. And I always wondered, has anybody tried to estimate what it would cost to run the tournament if you had to pay people? What's the value of the volunteering?
A lot. I don't know exactly. We do try to take a stab at the volunteer hours. I guess we could try to assign a wage to that, but you know, we're proud to give back $840,000 from those efforts. I know the Akron Rotary's got a lot of great volunteers that they put towards their camp, and you know, we couldn't do it without our volunteers. I thank them every chance I get.
Just for curiosity's sake, great presentation, by the way. I'm just glad that, you know, Firestone and the history of the club and the event here is still continuing on. Is there any talk that the full tour event may return at some point, given its popularity amongst players?
Sure, I get that question a lot. You know, the tricky thing on the PGA Tour is to find a date, you know, that we can play golf here in Akron, Ohio. We've had a lot of fun with the Senior Players Championship, and you know, we've been able to make the charity dollars work with that. I mentioned the Pro-Am. So, you know, Firestone's a great golf course. I think we'll always have some type of golf here. And, you know, we're excited about this upcoming July for Bridgestone Senior Players. So it wouldn't surprise me if you see golf some way, shape, or form in Firestone for years and years to come.
Any other questions in the room? John?
Don, great to see you. How do you pick your charities that you help?
So it's a good question. The slide that we had up before are our key charities that we give to each year. But then Northern Ohio Golf Charities has a foundation that they give to charities throughout the region. So they accept grant requests for about a 3-month period of time, and then they review and see how to disperse the dollars. So I know we've given to Akron Rotary. I think we're close to $100,000 that we've given to Akron Rotary. In fact, I think the last grant we did was for the pontoon boat for the kids at the camp. So, but yeah, I know nogcf.org, that information or that website I gave for information on volunteering. You can also see how to submit a grant request there as well.
Very good thing.
So Don, do you think we'll see Phil Mickelson teeing it up in a month?
You know, Phil's kind of gone off the grid, so it's hard to say. I think probably only Phil could answer that question. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Anybody else in the room? Any online, Cheryl?
No, not at this time.
All right, Don? Oh, okay.
I forget, but when Stricker won, what exemptions do you garner from winning the Firestone for senior and for regular?
You know, the big thing that you get is a chance to play in the Players Championship in March on the PGA Tour, but you're exempt for the next handful of years on PGA Tour Champions. But I know those guys like to take a trip down memory lane and play with the young bucks as well at the Players Championship, but they have fun with that for sure.
Don, do you have a favorite memory from one of the players or one of the events over the past 12 years you've been there?
You know, there's so many. I grew up, my dad was the pro and GM at Firestone Country Club from 1980 to 2004. So I've been fortunate not only to run the golf tournament, but I've been pretty much to all the tournaments since I've been 5 years old. I think it's really cool to see the best of the best come through Akron. And I can remember as a little kid seeing Jack Nicklaus, and remember after he won the '86 Masters, and then nobody ever thought there'd be another Jack Nicklaus. And generation later, along came Tiger Woods and arguably the 2 best golfers of all time. And I think watching Tiger finish in the dark in 2000, if everybody remembers that, we had the rain delay. And we didn't think we were going to get done that day, and you could hardly see. And I was standing right next to the green, and Tiger hit an 8-iron about a foot and tapped it in, and you could see the flash bulbs popping. That was a pretty special moment.
Very good. Any last minute? All right, Don, I got one favor to ask for, if you can pick a lottery winner for me for a daily lottery.
All right, we've got 228220.
Right, good luck. It's the daily. We have a deck of cards for the progressive pot. You're looking for the Joker. There's the money. King of clubs. You get to keep that in the money. Very good. With that, I'm going to, Steve Bowie had apologized. He had to leave early for a doctor's appointment, but Thane's going to close for us.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you having me.
And before we wrap up, Don or Allie, if any Rotarians want to either get involved supporting the tournament or purchasing tickets, what's the best way to reach out to you guys?
So, hi, Allie, Carter. We handle all the ticket packages, the tournament experiences, the sponsorship opportunities with the tournament. So, if anybody in the community is looking to get involved, feel free to contact myself or Connor. Our contact information is on our website. We do have business cards today. And a lot of people think you have to have this big investment, right, in order to help and participate in the tournament, but that is not the case. We do have daily tickets that the general ground buyers can purchase, that you can purchase on our website. Or if you're interested in more of an upgraded experience, we do have daily tickets and weekly options for that as well. So you can get our contact information online on our website, or we're happy to give you our business card.
Perfect. Thank you, Ally. And for everyone online that didn't hear that, we have business cards today from the PGA Tour staff. We can also go to their website to purchase sponsorships or individual tickets.
You can buy them for anybody that you like. We handle all of those different venues and the upgraded experiences we're talking about. So yes.
You don't have to be a part of a business like that.
You do not. No, so individuals, that's a really great question. Individuals and corporations both buy into our event, and that includes everything. That's the hospitality, that's also the product.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, guys. All right. So any other announcements before we adjourn? Very good. So we will see you all next Tuesday at 12 noon. Thank you very much for being with us. We are dismissed.